one piece of evidence that I find compelling that you presented on, Mike, is the helium diffusion.
Yes.
And the way I understand it from how you explained it is you have these zircon crystals, and you'll get a uranium to lead radioactive age of 1.5 billion years.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what you're producing from you're producing lead from uranium, but you're also producing helium as a byproduct of this.
Yes.
And so we look at the rate as to which helium leaks out of the crystal.
Yes.
And we get a leakage rate, which gives us an age. And from Dr. Russell Humphrey's paper on the topic, a really good age of somewhere between 6,000 and 10,000 years. So how do we explain this? Well, and I think you hinted at this, that since helium leakage is a well-known physical process, Mike, that helium leakage rate will be more reliable than the uranium to lead age that we're getting, 1.5 billion years. And so, okay, how can we explain this? Well, you have billions, well, 1.5 billion years worth of uranium to lead decay. But in order to retain all of that helium, the abundance of helium in these crystals, that must have occurred at an accelerated rate.
Yes, helium built up really fast. And for an age of 1.5 billion years, there's approximately 100,000 times as much helium that if those 1.5 billion years were real, that all should have leaked out and there should be very little helium left. The helium comes from alpha decay, which it goes through, like I said, 18 steps, but 8 of those steps are through elements that decay by alpha decay, giving off an alpha particle that grabs 2 electrons to become the helium atom. And it's moving around in the lattice of the zircon crystal, depending on the heat. Humphreys had this all graphed by the temperature. And so as it moves, as it gets too close to the edge of the zircon crystal, some of it will pop out. It's called diffusion. So it's a very solid result. I don't see how it can be refuted by skeptics.
Yeah, because that was going to be my next question to you is, are you aware of any explanation either within the creationist community or outside of the creationist community and the evolutionary community that can explain the presence of all this helium and zircon crystals that are supposed to be 1 billion plus years old that should have all leaked out? Is there any explanation that doesn't involve accelerated decay, or is accelerated decay essentially a necessary answer to what we see here, Mike?
I think it's a necessary answer. And
okay.
There's been objections, which I don't remember now. I've read of several of them, but Humphreys has pleasantly answered them all.
Yeah, yes.
So I don't know if you've had him on this program or not, but he can go into a lot more detail than I can. I deal with a lot of subjects, and so
right. Well,
I know the answers, and so. But if you ask me more details of what criticisms he's received, which I've read some of them, you'll have to get him on the program.
Well, Russell Humphreys, I was reading through a back and forth written debate he had with somebody from Reasons to Believe. And Dr. Humphreys did an excellent job engaging and refuting all of the challenges, all of the objections.
Yeah. He's pretty good at that.
Yeah.
And usually the objections are, what's the word I'm searching for? Not very scientific. I guess that's a good way to put it.